How's it going? Doing a review on the Kinetics Asia Pacific Rose Nano. This is a piece I probably have for about a month or so now, and I just want to talk about it a little bit. So the design of this spinner is basically to look like a rose petal. I think the design is super sick. I love the cuts in this piece. I love, what it looks like, the design, everything about it is really cool looking. Let's talk about the materials. I guess I could finish talking about the design of the button. It's got some pretty cool cutouts in it. I definitely like the way that looks. It definitely gives you a little bit of grip on your fingers too, which is cool. Materials. So this was offered in copper, nickel, mukume, and tungsten, and also zirconium, which is this. I believe this is a polished zirc because it's definitely pretty slick. It's about, I guess I can break out the scale because I'm not actually sure how much this one weighs in particular, so let's check it out. So this weighs about 55 grams. So not the lightest, but also not the heaviest. I feel like it's definitely in line with what Zirc pieces typically weigh. So let me pop off the button and just kind of show the bearing in the inside. So it's got your R188 bearing, which is pretty standard. And I could grab another button here. This is off my flume. I'll just pop that on there just for a second so you can see. This is one of my grill pieces right there, which I'll definitely review at some point. But whew. The buttons from this piece I can take and throw it on this piece, which looks absolutely awesome. If it wasn't dedicated to the flume, I would probably, carry it with this in this configuration just because it looks so cool. But bam, that button looks so sick on there. It sticks out and protrudes a lot. Really love this button, and it has a nice amount of surface area for my fingers. So let's talk about the action of the piece and kind of like how I've been using it and how I like to use it. So I really like the corners on this piece, so you can kind of get a good grip here with your corner and give it a really good pull, and then it'll get humming, which I like that. I definitely like pieces that I can get a nice grip and pull them really hard so you can get them to spin pretty fast. It also has these little divot cuts in there. Like you can see kind of in these little sections right here, it has these divots which really allow me to flick them too. So like when I can do, both actions, and then of course it works pretty well with, your jib jabs and your flicks and your jib jabs in this position. A lot of people like to fidget like this. I'm still kind of getting used to it as a noob. I'm not really that good at it. I've seen people like do all these cool moves like this, but I'm definitely not there yet. So I think that kind of covers like the likes about it. Definitely love the design. I love how fast it goes. I also should mention one of the things that I should talk about with other pieces as well moving forward is the centrifugal force. On this piece, it's not super pronounced. Like when I move it back and forth, I don't really feel like a ton of feedback. I do feel a little, but not a ton. I like pieces that when I rotate them, I can really feel them cutting through the air, which, it's not too prevalent on this piece. I'll talk about a few of the things that I dislike, and most of this is subjective. I don't think it's anything bad about the piece. I just think that it's fairly small. This is a nano version. I think if I had a larger version, I'd probably like it a lot more, just because it wouldn't be so small in my hand. And then also it's a little bit slick, so it's kind of jumped out of my hands a few times, but that's subjective. So not really a ton to dislike. It's a really cool piece. It's just I probably should have tried to get a larger version of it. And then kind of wrapping thoughts, one of the things I talk about is would I sell it or would I keep it. So this one I'm selling. I've already actually sold this. I have to deliver it to the post office tomorrow or whatever, but I think me selling this piece is just mainly due to the size, and also that I'm finding more recently that I like heavier metals. I think I might be a copper fanatic, which I was kind of hoping that I wasn't going to be like a one material kind of guy. But I'm really finding that I like copper a lot. So, main reason I'm selling it just because it's a little bit small and, in a material that I'm not totally in love with. I know a ton of people love Zirc. Zirc is super cool. I definitely like it too. I just, like I said, prefer the heavier weight. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching the video.